Assalamu alaikum students. I hope you all are fine and safe. In the previous lecture, we start the chapter The Arrival of Muslims in South Asia, in which we studied how Muhammad bin Qasim freed the prisoners, and we also studied the rulers who ruled in Ghaznavi dynasty. So today we continue the same chapter. So let's start the reading. Shahabuddin Muhammad Ghori. Shahabuddin Muhammad was the ruler of Gohar, a small kingdom in Afghanistan. He was a Seljuk Turk from Central Asia. According to historians, he carried out 7 major invasions of India. Invasions means attack, in majority of which he was successful. He captured Multan in 1175, Sindh in 1182, and Punjab in 1186. Troubled and worried with the rising power of Muhammad Ghori, king of Delhi and Ajmer, Prithvi Raj Chauhan decided to check him. The first battle took place at Tarin in 1191. Muhammad Ghori was severely injured during battle, which resulted in his defeat. In the next year, in 1192, both met again in war at Tarin. This time, Muhammad Ghori inflicted a crushing defeat on Prithvi Raj Chauhan. Inflicted means cause something. He then conquered the lands in Benares, Gwalior, Gujarat, and Ajmer. Conquered means a place taken control by military force. In 1192, he was assassinated by unknown persons near Jehlam. He is buried there. Shahabuddin Muhammad Ghori was the ruler of Ghori, a small kingdom in Afghanistan. According to many past historians, he carried out 7 major attacks of India, and in majority he was successful. Moreover, he also captured many cities like Multan, Sindh, and Punjab. Prithviraj Chauhan, who was a king of Delhi and Ajmer, he started creating trouble with the rising power of Muhammad Ghori. The first battle took place in Tarin, in which Muhammad Ghori injured during the battle. In the next year, they both met again in war, and in this time Muhammad Ghori defeated Prithviraj Chauhan. Moreover, he also taken control some lands like Benares, Gujarat, and unknown persons murdered him near Jehlam. The slave dynasty established Muslim rule over Delhi. Qutbuddin Aibak was a slave of Shahabuddin Muhammad Ghori. Slave means a person who is the legal property, whom he had brought up from childhood. He was a well-educated and able person and ascended to throne after the death of Ghori. Ascended means go or climb up. He was the founder of a new dynasty, the slave dynasty. Qutbuddin Aibak was the first Muslim king who established rule over Delhi. He was the founder of what came to be called the Delhi Sultanate. But Aibak did not live long and died in 1210. After his death, Iltutmish, his son-in-law, became king. He was a great ruler and added Malwa, Sindh, Ajmer, Jalore, Nagaur, Gwalior, Kannauj, Benares, and Bedon to Delhi Sultanate. The construction of Qutub Minar, started by Qutbuddin Aibak, was completed in his time. Qutub Minar is 73 meters tall and nowadays is the second tallest building in Delhi. After Iltutmish's death, his daughter Razia Begum came to power in 1236, known as Razia Sultana in history. She was the only female ruler of Delhi's Sultanate. Due to widespread male chauvinism of the era, Widespread means found over a large area. She was murdered through a conspiracy, means a secret plan to do something harmful. Her rule lasted for 4 years. After her, the youngest son of Iltutmish, Nasiruddin Mahmud, came to power. He ruled for 25 years. His successor was his father-in-law and minister, Ulugh Khan Balban. Balban proved to be the most effective king of the slave dynasty. Due to his personal abilities and military might, he was able to suppress the challenge of Hindu Rajas and contain them. He died in 1287. Suppress means to put down force or authority. After the death of Muhammad Ghori, Qutbuddin Aibak was the founder of new dynasty. He was a well-educated and kind person. He was the first Muslim king who ruled over Delhi, and he was the founder to be called the Delhi Sultanate. He did not live so long. After his death, Iltutmish, his son-in-law, became king. Iltutmish was also a great ruler and added some places in Delhi Sultanate. In the rule of Qutbuddin Aibak, the construction of Qutb Minar was completed. It is 73 meters long and nowadays it is the second tallest building in Delhi. Razia Begum, she was a daughter of Iltutmish. After Iltutmish's death, she came to power known as Razia Sultana in history. She was the only female who ruled over Delhi Sultanate, but early she was murdered with a secret plan in the era of male chauvinism. Her rule lasted for 4 years. Nasiruddin Mahmud, who was the youngest son of Iltutmish. After the death of Razia Begum, he came to power and ruled 25 years. His successor was because of his father-in-law Ulugh Khan Balban, who was the most effective king of slave dynasty. But due to his personal abilities, he put down the authority against Hindu Raja and held them. The Khilji dynasty. Balban's death led to turmoil as there were a number of aspirants to the throne. Turmoil means a state of confusion. Aspirant means a person who has ambitious to achieve something. After considerable infighting, the nobles placed Jalaluddin Khilji on the throne in 1290. Thus began the era of Khilji dynasty. During his time, Mongols tried to intrude into the subcontinent. Intrude means unwelcome or uninvited, but were successfully repulsed. Repulsed, driven back or attacked by a force. In 1296, his nephew Alauddin Khilji, who had returned with a very large booty from the successful expedition to Deccan, killed him and proclaimed himself the king. Booty means valuable stolen goods. Expedition, a journey undertaken by a group of people. Proclaimed means announced officially or publicly. The main challenge Alauddin faced were further assault of Mughals. Assault means physical attack. They made several attacks with large armies. For 10 years, Alauddin was able to beat back all such attacks. These were good lessons for him, and this led him to control his treasury and to organize and fortify his army. Treasury means the funds or revenue of a state. Fortify means weak. He conquered Gujarat in 1297 and Ramthabur in 1301. He was able to conquer Chittor in 1303. In 1305, he captured Malwa, Ujjain, Mandu, Dahar and Chandar. By 1311, all the north and a large part of South India was under his dominion means control. He died in 1316. After a power struggle, his third son, Qutbuddin Mubarak, came to power. Mubarak was a failure and was killed by Khusro Khan, who captured the throne. This marked the end of Khilji dynasty. Khilji dynasty. Jalaluddin was the ruler of Khilji dynasty. Balban death was a state of confusion for all because Balban was very ambitious to achieve their goals. Thus, the era of Khilji dynasty began, and during his time, the Mongols tried to enter in the subcontinent, and they were successfully attacked. Alauddin Khilji, who was a nephew of Jalaluddin Khilji, came from the journey to Deccan with some valuable stolen goods and announced officially that he is the king. The main challenge which Alauddin faced were the continuous physical attack by Mongols, but he was able to beat back all attacks, and these were the good lessons for him. After a powerful struggle, his third son Qutbuddin Mubarak came to power, but he failed and killed by Khusro Khan. This marked the end of Khilji dynasty. Now open your activity book, page number 3. Exercise B. Write the names of rulers of the following dynasty. We have read these 3 dynasties: the Ghaznavi dynasty, the Slave dynasty, the Khilji dynasty, in which you have to write down the name of rulers in the following 3 dynasties. In Ghaznavi dynasty, Sapuddin Mahmud of Ghazni. The Slave dynasty, Qutbuddin Aibak, Shahabuddin Muhammad Ghori, Razia Begum, Nasiruddin Muhammad, Ulugh Khan Balban. And in the Khilji dynasty, Jalaluddin Khilji, Alauddin Khilji, Qutbuddin Mubarak. Do this in your book. Now open the page number 4. Exercise C. Answer the following questions and do these 3 questions. Question 1, question 2 and question 3 in your activity book.